95% of AI projects fail. And it's not because the AI is bad. It's not because the engineers are incompetent. It's not because the models aren't sophisticated enough. MIT just released a study looking over 300 AI deployments across major enterprises. 95% of them failed to reach production or deliver any measurable ROI. And when they dug into why, it wasn't what anybody expected. The number one culprit? Data quality. Not the algorithms, not the prompts, not which AI tool you're using. The data feeding the AI was garbage. And here's what's wild. This isn't just a problem. This is one of the biggest service opportunities that nobody in our industry is talking about yet. So if you're an agency owner, a freelancer, a marketing ops person wondering what skills are actually going to matter over the next 5 years, stick around. Because what I'm about to show you is a category that's about to explode, and almost nobody has claimed it yet. I'm Jeff SAUER, and I've been teaching data and analytics for over 15 years. My team and I created something called the Clean Data Framework, which I'll break down for you in a few minutes. And we use it every day with companies you've definitely heard of. We've basically pivoted our entire business to be AI first over the last couple years. And the thing we keep on running into over and over again with every client, it's not that they don't have AI tools, it's that their data is a disaster. Now, if you've been following this series, you know we've been breaking down the services that agencies need to be offering right now. Video 1 was first-party data, getting the right data in the first place. Video 2 is privacy, collecting data compliantly so you don't get sued. Video 3 was AEO, making your content discoverable by AI. In this video, this is the missing piece that makes all that actually work. Because you can collect all the first-party data you want. You can be fully compliant. You can optimize for AI discovery. But if your data is messy, mislabeled, and scattered across 47 different platforms, the AI is going to choke on it. Or worse, it's going to confidently make stuff up. Let me show you what I mean. Right now, every company on the planet is racing to deploy AI. AI agents, AI chatbots, AI automations, AI everything. The boardroom conversation has shifted from, should we do AI, to, why aren't we doing AI faster? And the money flowing into this is insane. Goldman Sachs estimates that hyperscalers alone will spend $527 billion on AI infrastructure in 2026. $500 billion in 1 year. But here's what nobody wants to talk about at the conference keynotes. The MIT study I mentioned, they didn't just find that 95% of AI projects fail. They found that only 5% actually reach what they called rapid revenue growth. The other 95%? Dead, stalled, abandoned, written off. So what's going wrong? Well, let's talk about what these companies are actually feeding their AI. Duplicate records are everywhere. The same customer showing up as Jane Doe or J Doe and Jane.Doe@company.com. 3 separate people as far as the AI knows. Naming conventions that change depending on who set up the campaign. One team calls it booking completed. The other team calls the exact same event reservation finished. The AI has no idea that these are the same thing. Data scattered across 12 different platforms that don't talk to each other. Your CRM says one thing, Google Analytics says another, your ad platforms say something else entirely. And the trust problem is brutal. Only 16% of executives say they actually trust the data their decisions are based on. 16%. 65% of CEOs don't trust their CMOs. And a huge reason is because the reports keep contradicting each other. Marketing says revenue is up, finance says it's flat, sales has a completely different number. This is the dueling dashboards problem. Everyone's looking at different data, coming to different conclusions, and nobody knows which version is real. And now you're going to plug AI into this mess? When researchers interviewed executives about what went wrong with their AI projects, the answers were fascinating. 60% said that AI doesn't learn from feedback. 55% complained about too much manual context required. 45% said they can't customize the workflows. 40% reported that AI breaks on edge cases. Every single one of those problems sounds like an AI problem, but they're not. They're data problems wearing AI masks. The AI doesn't learn from feedback because it was trained on stale, outdated information. It needs too much manual context because the data lacks any context in the first place. It can't customize to workflows because it was trained on generic data with no domain specificity. It breaks on edge cases because nobody fed it enough examples of what edge cases even look like. This is the dirty secret of the AI gold rush. The models are fine. The technology works. It's the fuel that's contaminated. And by the way, if you're watching this and thinking, okay, this is way bigger than I realized, you're not alone. We've put together a list of 99 services that agencies and consultants should be considering right now. Data cleaning is just one of them. Drop the word services in the comments and I'll make sure you get the full list. All right, let's keep on going. Now let's talk about what this is actually costing companies. Because dirty data isn't just an inconvenience. It's not just our reports seem a little off sometimes. This is bleeding money at a scale that's hard to comprehend. Gartner estimates that poor data quality costs organizations an average of $12.9 million per year. Per organization. IBM puts the total cost to the US economy at $3.1 trillion annually. Trillion, with a T. And here's where it gets really painful for anybody who's ever hired a data scientist. Do you know what data scientists, people you're paying $150,000 to $200,000 a year, actually spend most of their time doing? Cleaning data. 80% of their time. These are some of the most expensive, most in-demand professionals on the planet. And they're spending 4 out of every 5 hours doing data janitorial work. Finding duplicates, fixing formatting, reconciling conflicting sources, manually tagging things that should have been tagged from the start. One survey found that data teams spend only 27% of their time on actual AI and machine learning work. Everything else is data prep. That's not a data science team, that's a very expensive cleaning crew. And the human cost is real too. 67% of marketers say they feel overwhelmed by data volume, not empowered by it, overwhelmed. 41% say data quality issues actively limit their ability to do their jobs. These are people who went to school for marketing. They wanted to build campaigns and understand customers and create strategies. And instead, they're stuck reconciling spreadsheets and trying to figure out why last week's report doesn't match this week's report, even though nothing's changed. Now, if you're thinking, okay, but at least old school software would just break if we gave it bad data. That was actually a feature. When traditional software hit bad data, it crashed. It threw an error. It said, hey, something's wrong here. That was a signal, a red flag, a chance to fix the problem. AI doesn't do that. AI takes your garbage data and confidently generates garbage output. No error message, no warning, just a polished, professional sounding answer that happens to be completely wrong. And that's actually way more dangerous because now you have executives making decisions based on AI recommendations that are based on data that was wrong from the start. The old rule was garbage in, garbage out. The new rule is garbage in, confident nonsense out. And nobody realizes it until something blows up. So here's where I see so many people wasting their energy. Every week, there's a new debate. Which AI is faster? Which one's smarter? Which one scored better on some benchmark test? People are literally switching their entire tech stack every few months to chase the best model. And look, I get it. It's exciting. The pace of innovation is genuinely insane right now. But here's what I tell my clients. The model, it's going to change in 6 months anyway. Whatever you're using today, there'll be something better by summer and something even better by next year. And that's just how it works right now. So if you're building your entire strategy around which AI tool you're using, that's not a moat. That's not a competitive advantage. That's just a subscription. Everyone has access to the same models. The API costs are basically the same. The capabilities are converging more every quarter. But you know what your competitors don't have? Your data, your customer records, your transaction history, your domain expertise encoded into structured, labeled, contextualized information. That is the moat. The AI model is like the engine in a car. Yeah, you want a good one. But if you're putting sugar in the gas tank, it doesn't matter how good the engine is. You know slop was the word of the year for 2025, right? AI slop. That flood of mediocre, generic, obviously AI-generated garbage that's drowning the internet. And why is there so much slop? Because people are feeding AI generic data and getting generic output. They're using the same models with the same prompts trained on the same undifferentiated information. The companies that are actually winning with AI right now, they're not winning because they picked the right model. They're winning because they spent years building clean, proprietary data assets. And now they're feeding that into AI and getting outputs their competitors literally cannot replicate. That is the future-proof move. Not chasing benchmarks, not switching models every quarter. Getting your data house in order so that whatever model you use, today, next year, 5 years from now, you're feeding it something worth learning from. Quick pause. If you're finding this valuable and you want more breakdowns like this, hit subscribe. We release new videos every week to this channel, and a lot of them are talking about the services and skills that are actually going to matter in this AI economy. All right, let me show you the solution. So we've established the problem is massive. Now let me show you what to actually do about it. After seeing the same data disasters over and over again with our clients, my team and I developed a framework that we call CLEAN. CLEAN. Each letter represents a phase of getting your data from the mess it probably is right now to something that AI can actually use. Let me break it down. C is for collect. This is about consolidation and capture, getting all your data sources identified and pulling them into place where you can actually work with them. Most companies have data scattered across dozens of platforms: your CRM, your ad accounts, your analytics, your email tool, your support tickets, your billing system. Before you can clean anything, you have to know what you've got and where it lives. L is for label. This is taxonomy and standardization, making sure that booking completed and reservation finished are recognized as the same event, making sure that Jane Doe and J Doe and Jane Doe at company.com get merged into one customer record. This is where most of the damage happens and where most of the cleanup work lives. E is for enhance. This is enrichment and hygiene, adding missing context, filling gaps, appending useful data points that make your records actually meaningful. A customer record with just a name and an email isn't that useful. A customer record with their industry, company size, purchase history, support interactions, and engagement patterns, now your AI has something to work with. A is for assemble. This is unification and architecture, building the actual infrastructure that connects everything together. Your data warehouse, your pipelines, your identity resolution, the plumbing that makes sure clean data flows into the right places at the right times. And N is for narrate. This is governance and action. Documentation, data dictionaries, policies for how data gets created and maintained moving forward. And this is where the house cleaning analogy really clicks. Think about it. You don't clean your house once and then it's done forever, right? Dishes pile up, dust accumulates, laundry happens. If you want a clean house, you're cleaning it once a week. Maybe more often if you've got kids or pets. Maybe you're okay with a little dust and you do it once a month. But the point is, it's ongoing maintenance, not a one-time project. Data works exactly the same way. You can do a big, deep clean right now, get everything organized and shiny, and that's great. But if you don't fix the process that created dirty data in the first place, if you don't have systems for maintaining that cleanliness, you'll be right back where you started in 6 months. Narrate is about making sure the whole organization understands the rules of the road so the data stays clean. It's deciding, are we a clean the kitchen every night company or a let it pile up until the weekend company? Neither is wrong necessarily, but you have to decide, and you have to build the habits to match. Now, here's what I love about this framework. It's not technology, it's a process. Yes, there are tools involved, Chrome extensions, little apps, integrations, but the breakthrough isn't some magic software. It's having a systematic approach. We've built checklists for each phase. You follow the steps, you work through them methodically, and suddenly things that felt impossible start getting fixed. It's actually way faster than people expect once you know what to do. Okay, so now let's talk about why I'm so excited about this from a business perspective. If you're an agency owner, a consultant, a freelancer, somebody trying to figure out what services are actually going to matter over the next decade, this is it. The data quality market is projected to grow from about $7 billion today to $31 billion by 2034. That's a 16% compound annual growth rate for a decade straight. And here's the thing. Right now, only 8% of organizations say they're actually AI ready when it comes to their data. 8%. That means that 92% of companies out there know they need to deploy AI, but their data is a mess and they have no idea how to fix it. That is your market. And unlike a lot of tech trends where the opportunity eventually gets automated away, this one can't be. Think about it. What's the one thing AI absolutely cannot do for itself? It can't clean its own training data. It can't tell you, hey, this record is a duplicate. It doesn't know that booking completed and reservation finished are the same event, unless a human tells it. AI literally requires clean data to function. That's not a nice to have, that's the whole foundation. Which means the job of helping AI learn, of feeding it quality information, is one of the few things that has actual job security in this economy. Everyone's worried about AI taking their job. This is a job that exists specifically because AI can't do it. You're not competing with AI, you're enabling it. And companies will pay handsomely for that. We're seeing data cleaning services command premium rates because the ROI is so obvious. Fix the data, fix the AI, fix the business outcomes. It's not a hard sell. The problem is painful and the solution is clear. The only question is who's going to claim this space in your market? Right now, almost nobody is positioning themselves as the data cleaning for AI experts. There are data consultants, there are AI consultants, but very few people are connecting those dots and saying, I'm the person who makes your data AI ready. That gap is wide open. And the companies who need this, they're looking for somebody to help them right now. So let's bring this home. 95% of AI projects are failing, not because the AI is bad, because the data feeding it is a disaster. Dirty data is costing companies $12 to $15 million per year. It's turning 200K data scientists into janitors. It's creating dueling dashboards where nobody trusts any of the numbers. And the worst part, AI doesn't crash on bad data like old software did. It confidently makes stuff up, which means bad decisions are getting made based on AI outputs that look polished but are completely wrong. While everybody else is chasing the latest AI model, debating benchmarks, switching tools every quarter, the smart play is to invest in the thing that actually compounds, your data. That's the real future proofing. The clean framework, collect, label, enhance, assemble, narrate, gives you a systematic way to get there. It's not magic, it's a process, and it works. And from a business perspective, this is one of the biggest service opportunities I've seen in years. A $31 billion market by 2034. Only 8% of companies are AI ready, and AI literally cannot do this work for itself. If you're trying to figure out what skills matter, what services to offer, where the demand is going to be, this is the answer. Now, this video is service number 4 in my series of the 99 services that agencies should be considering right now. If you want the full list, all 99 services we've identified as high opportunity plays for agencies, consultants, and freelancers, drop services in the comments. I'll make sure you get access to that list, and you'll also get on our mailing list. And that's the only way you'll hear about the next time we run our agency blueprint workshop, where we go deep in actually implementing this stuff. The clean framework, the checklists, the tools, all of it. If you found this valuable, hit subscribe. I'm breaking down new opportunities every week on this channel. And if you haven't watched the first 3 videos in this series, first-party data, privacy, and AEO, go check those out. Links are in the description because they all connect. Clean data makes first-party data actually usable, makes your privacy compliance meaningful, makes your AI-optimized content actually discoverable. This is the foundation that everything else sits on. All right, that's it. I'll see you in the next video.